On this week's episode, I'm going to talk with you about how to decide if you should leave one job for another job. I'm going to tell you about a few job fairs coming up, and I will give you this week's job leads. It's the week of February 17th through the 21st, and this is the QC Step Podcast. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the QC Step Podcast. My name is Corey Finneran, and this podcast is in audio and video. Both are available at our website, qcstep.com, and the audio versions are available in iTunes, on Stitcher, and in other most podcasting applications for your smartphones. The video version is also available on YouTube, and the video is closed captioned through YouTube services. You can connect with QC Step through your social networking accounts. You can go to facebook.com/QC Step, and we are at QC Step on Twitter and Instagram. And we have a student submitted question this week, and it comes from Quentin. Quentin asks, if you are working a job and you're offered a different job, how do you decide whether or not you should leave for this new job? And that's a great question, Quentin. And I'll say right now, there are a lot of gray areas in this topic. It really does depend on your situation. But there are some things to consider when making this decision. You'll want to consider how many hours will you receive at each job, what fits into your long-term goal, and what do you like. So let's start off with the hours that you will receive at each job. Let's say that you applied for this job because your hours were being cut after the holidays. Well, like many of the businesses, retail businesses and stuff that cut out hours after the holidays, business will pick up, and it's starting to pick up here in the next month. And a lot of times those hours that were being cut will start being given out again. So let's say you had a job where you got about 20 hours a week, and they cut it down to 5 or 10 hours a week after the holidays. You decided that you wanted something that could give you more hours, and that's understandable. And this new position was available, and they can offer you 15 hours a week. Well, you have a decision to make there. Those 15 hours a week, they're more than you're getting right now, but they're fewer hours than you'll receive when your original job, when their business picks back up. So you may not want to make that move because it would benefit the short term, but it may hurt you money-wise in the long term. So that takes us to the next thing to consider. Which position helps you more towards your long-term goals? And I just mentioned hours and money, and that's something to consider. And another thing to consider is which position gives you the best chance to be promoted and move up. If your original job has room for growth and opportunities to learn new skills, you might want to think twice about leaving for a different position that can offer more hours right now, but doesn't offer the same opportunities for growth and learning new skills. You don't want to make a decision that benefits you in the short term, but sacrifices the long-term benefits of your original job. Another thing to consider is, what do you like? Do you like your original job? If so, you might want to think twice about leaving it. If you like the work that you do, you like your supervisors and your coworkers, and you like the business, you may be willing to stay at a position that gives you fewer hours or maybe pays a little bit less. If you don't like your original job, then you might be a little bit more willing to take that risk and accept a new job offer. I'd like to bring up an option that may help you make that decision and clarify things a little bit. If you're working a job and you're applying for new jobs and you're offered a new job, you might want to try to work both jobs. And this will let you try out the new job and see if it's worth leaving your original job for. And this approach will really only work if you have some flexibility with the schedules. But even if you do this for a few weeks, you may be able to make a more informed decision on what you're facing. So maybe you could ask your original job if you could have a few weeks off of the schedule, and you'll probably have a better idea after a week or two what you should do. As I said, there are a lot of gray areas when trying to decide if you should leave your current job for a new one. It can be a scary move, and there's a lot of things to consider, but that's what we're here for. If you're in that position and you would like to get someone else's opinion on that situation, Gary or Carrie can meet with you and look at your options. You can get a hold of them by going through your STEP or your co-op teacher, or you can email me, info@qcstep.com, and I'll pass it along to them. There's a job fair and a career fair coming up that I'd like to let you know about. Blackhawk College has a job fair scheduled for March 26th, and in the past this has been a really good job fair. There's a lot of businesses there that are hiring for summer positions. And there's also the career fair for people with disabilities at the iWireless Center. And many of you teachers that were at our in-service a few weeks ago, you were informed about this career fair then, and I wanted to let you know that the date on this career fair has changed. It is now on April 7th. And last year I spent quite a few episodes going over job fair and career fair tips, and I will review some of that material leading up to them this year. So mark those on your calendar. The Blackhawk College job fair is March 26th, and the career fair at the iWireless Center is on April 7th. I post job leads to qcstep.com, and they usually go up on Monday mornings, and they are typically links to the online applications for all of the openings. So here are this week's openings. Kmart in Moline is hiring cashiers. Old Navy in Davenport is looking for sales associates. The Burlington Coat Factory, that's in Bettendorf, they are looking for shoe associates. And then there are a few job leads for our graduates. FedEx is looking for dock workers. That's a part-time position. The Family Dollar in Rock Island is hiring customer service. And the Dollar General in Moline is looking for sales associates. And if you would like help with any of the job leads that I gave today, or if you would like help with any applications that you pick up or online applications that you'd like to fill out, then get a hold of Gary or Carrie through your STEP or your co-op teacher, or you can email me, info@qcstep.com, and I will ask them to contact you. Well, that does it for this week's episode. Many times when those of us in the STEP program are talking with you, we hear from you that you aren't interested in working because you're focusing on school. Well, on next week's episode, I'm going to talk with you about how you can do both. You can do school and work, and I'll give you some tips on succeeding in both of those areas. Thanks for watching and listening and downloading, and I will be back next week with another episode of the QC STEP Podcast.